think I'm gonna make one more video and then I'm gonna get back to it. So anyway, yeah, the pie chart. The last thing you can go look at the pie chart for yourself. Again, use that as a guiding stone of how to vet people. Like, how many of those boxes, when you meet a woman, how many of those boxes does she check? And if I think she checks more than 3 of them, you should probably keep walking. And I would give women the same advice. If you got to find a guy and you know, like, again, women want to find a guy. It's like, okay, I'm attracted to him, but I'm going to turn him into this. His personality is this, but I'm gonna, you know, does it ever work? No, it doesn't. You know, like you're trying to turn oil into water, and we know how that mixes, right? It doesn't. The last one is the money one. Okay, this one, I think, again, is misunderstood. People break up over money. Yes, this is true. But it's not the same as saying poor people are breaking up because they're poor. I think it's responsibility of money that makes people... It's like, okay... how do I put this? Rent's due. We have the money. We had the money, but then he went and bought a bunch of booze and dope, and you know, ordered pizzas. And like, you know, now we're struggling again. Yeah, women aren't going to tolerate that. It's like, okay, well, he's worked his ass off all month, but we're still broke. They'll stick beside you. Or you went for the Barbie doll that requires a lot of maintenance. You know, you buy a Lamborghini, it's fun to drive for 5 minutes, but you're going to spend 50 hours working on the fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Get a Honda Civic. You know, these things are tanks. You know, you spend you work on it once in 5 years, and then you just drive the piss out of it, right? But that's the type of woman you're looking for. Someone's going to be reliable. And... like, the superficialness of the MGTOW guys is just as bad as the women. Like, it's just as bad as, like, the shallow women that they're critiquing. No, you really got to look at it like the money one. Like, poor people, like, there are stats that show that men that make more money than women usually have no problem. Even if it's not, you don't have to be rich. You just, okay, I make a little bit more money there. Men and women that make about the same income, whether they're poor, middle class, or whatever, doesn't matter. Usually do okay. If the woman makes slightly more than the man, it's not really an issue. When she makes way more than the man, now you're talking about someone that has a different lifestyle bracket. We're going to travel. Oh, well, I can go to Europe, but you can't because you don't have enough money, right? That usually fails. So this is why women with the really high careers, high-paying careers, usually have a harder time with relationships, just due to that. That they can't find a partner because they need to marry up, right? And stuff like that. And the problem is that it's not so much that the guy's not good enough or whatever. It's that the guy landed in a situation where you're in a different social class. You know what I mean? Like, it's... I mean, I'm not saying it can't work, but I'm saying like, for the guy, like, men don't marry women whether they have a job or not. Men don't date women whether they have a job or not. If they have a job, great. Like, I'm not one of those guys that, you know, women should only stay at home and that's it. You know, I'm all for traditionalism, but like neo-trad, as I call it, where you have to adopt, you know, women and men have to adopt to the modern world. You just can't have the woman sitting at home just raising the kids, unless you're making like a ridiculous amount of money. You have to make enough income for not only 2 people, but also the kids, to raise the kids and everything like that, which is a ridiculous amount of money nowadays. Not impossible, but a ridiculous amount. So the reality is women are going to have to go to work, you know, like for the foreseeable future. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? And that's not a bad thing. You know, like, you don't really want somebody stuck in the house 24/7 anyway. They'll get depressed. You know what I mean? They'll get depressed. Like, the male, female, like, you're not meant to stare at the same wall paint day in, day out. You know, like, you need a little bit of excitement in your life. I've often said, like, life is a series of boredom with random highlights. Just make the highlights really good. So once you understand these things, it's like it really, like even just listening to this, okay, what I'm telling you, okay, even if you disagree with everything I say, something's going to happen. You're going to be in a situation, and I'm not saying, oh, you're going to say, oh, that guy was right, whatever, but you're going to say, okay, I see what he was getting at. And it'll be like, okay, I'm in a social setting, I'm sitting down, there's 8 people here, three new single women, right? One's got a neck tattoo, whatever, piercings all over the place. Okay, so right away, you're probably not that attracted to her. Okay, she's probably trash, whatever. But, you know, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I'll be nice to her and whatever. Then the woman beside her just looks modest, whatever. Okay, no problem. The other one, you know, pretty scantily clad, looks like a hoochie girl. Okay, so you say, okay, well, this girl's going to be a bimbo. This girl's probably going to be a Karen, and this girl, well, you know, she's probably have all kinds of daddy issues. You end up talking to all 3 of them. And suddenly you find out the girl with the tattoos is like a Mormon, like just a modern version of a Mormon, and you know, like wants family, wants kids, wants everything. But oh, I made stupid lifestyle choices when I was like, you know, 5 years ago, and I thought I was hip and cool, and I got these tattoos, and now what do I do, right? Well, I own it. You know what I mean? And she takes responsibility. Okay, well, that's, you know, personality's there, and there's no problem there. And the girl in the middle, okay, she's not quite the Karen, but she's a bit boring, but whatever. But then she's like the whole woke rainbow of support, right? We'll just leave it at that. Okay, right off. You know what I mean? There's a wolf in sheep's clothing right there. And then the bimbo girl's exactly, can you buy me a drink? You know, ooh, let's party. You know, I'm going to be with my besties. And then she's exactly what you think she is, right? So you walk away from it, and you're just like, well, okay, well, you end up adding them all as Facebook friends. And then next thing you know, the one that you keep talking to is the one with the tattoos, because the more you find out, like, man, this girl, like, everything I like, she likes. Everything, you know, okay, but she's got these tattoos. Then you got to ask yourself, do I sweat the little things? Right? And, okay, here's a person that could be a really good potential life partner, but I'll have to deal with people judging her because of the tattoos. I'll have to deal with this, that, the other thing. The hoochie girl has, like, 5 baby mamas, you know, so you know that one's a write-off. You know, like the baby mama thing, like I'm not saying single mothers can never be, you have to look at what their situation was and what it is. You know, there's a lot of women that get duped, you know, young and think the guy that they're with is going to be their guy they're going to be with forever. They end up with a kid and then the guy leaves and whatever. That happens too. Like you never hear about the men leaving. You always hear about how the women leave the men. Yes, women do initiate the divorce more. I know all the statistics. Like there's not a single MGTOW argument that I haven't heard. So, you know, like I've heard them all. But if you just get out into the real world and you deal with people, right, you realize that nothing is ever that cut and dry. Nothing is ever that black and white. And you really do have the beautiful opportunity of being able to vet things, right? And that's why I bring up the pie chart. Because the other pie chart is the one where people got it right. Why do they stay together? Now, of course, the MGTOWs will always say, yeah, but those people aren't happy. You don't fucking know that. You don't know if they're happy or not happy. All you know is they're staying together. You know what I mean? Happiness is probably the least. And I think the people that probably put happiness the least, it's kind of like the people that break up because of happiness. Right? Those two categories should not be in these pie charts because happiness is a byproduct of fulfillment. It's not, I can't stress that enough. You know, like if you say, okay, well, somebody got out of the relationship, why? Well, I was unhappy. Okay, fine. Why are you staying in this relationship? I'm happy. Okay, great. Well, are you just like woke up in the morning? Hey, fuck, I'm happy, man. Way I go. Or are you getting fulfilled by something that's making you happy? Are you not getting fulfilled by something that's making you unhappy? Now, once you start probing those questions, you'll realize those categories shouldn't even be in there. They're not even a debate because it's a byproduct. Happiness and unhappiness is a byproduct of something. You know, like you stub your toe, you're going to be unhappy for a little bit. You know what I mean? Somebody massages your toe, you're going to be happy for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like that's kind of the way it works, right? it's a byproduct. So we don't really want to look at that category because it's not representative. It doesn't tell you what's going on. So you do have to look at all people's situations uniquely to the individual. And that takes time. But you can eliminate a lot by just trial and error. Learn how to socialize. That's your first skill level thing that you should have. Learn how to socialize. One way to socialize, get